Starting a new job is so exciting, but let's be honest, it can also be overwhelming. You're stepping into a new environment, meeting new people, and trying to absorb a ton of information all at once. The first few days aren't just about getting settled. They're about setting the tone for how you'll be perceived, how quickly you'll adapt, and how successful you'll be in your new role. What you do during this period can have a long-lasting impact, so it's important to be intentional about your approach. So, what should you do? Welcome back to the Industry Portal, where our goal is to advance your career. In this video, we're breaking down the most important things to do in your first few days at a new job. These practical steps will help you feel confident, make an impact, and set yourself up for success from day one. One of the first things to focus on is making a strong first impression. People form opinions quickly, and those first few interactions can influence how colleagues and managers perceive you for a very long time. It's important to arrive early, dress appropriately for the company culture, and come prepared to engage. If you're working in an office, showing up 10 to 15 minutes early demonstrates reliability and enthusiasm. If you're working remotely, logging in ahead of schedule and making sure your tech setup is functioning shows professionalism. Beyond just punctuality, bring a positive attitude. Even if you feel nervous, confidence and enthusiasm will help you connect with colleagues and establish credibility. People naturally gravitate toward those who show a willingness to learn and a genuine interest in the team and the work. Next, building relationships from the start is one of the smartest things you can do in your first few days. Many new employees make the mistake of focusing solely on their tasks and forgetting that success in any job is also about the people you work with. Take the time to introduce yourself, not just to your immediate team, but to anyone you'll be working with regularly. Learning names, roles, and how different departments interact will help you navigate the workplace more smoothly. If you struggle to remember names, make a note of them or review the company's staff directory. Engaging in conversations, even brief ones, helps you build rapport early on. And asking simple questions like, how long have you been with the company? Or what do you enjoy most about working here? Can help break the ice and show that you're interested in more than just completing your tasks. If you're in a remote role, take the initiative to send a short introduction message to your team or schedule quick one-on-one coffee chats. Even a short conversation can make a big difference in how welcomed and connected you feel. Next on the list is to understand what is expected of you in your new role. Even if you were given a job description before starting, the reality of the role might differ slightly once you're on the ground. Clarifying expectations early helps ensure that you're focusing on the right priorities. Within the first few days, make it a point to ask your manager what success in your role looks like. You might say something like, what are the key priorities I should focus on in my first few weeks? Or how will my performance be measured? This not only gives you clarity, but also signals to your manager that you're proactive and results-driven. Understanding your short-term and long-term goals will help you prioritize tasks effectively. And knowing how your manager prefers to communicate, whether through email, instant messaging, or scheduled check-ins, will help you align with their working style. Your first few days will be packed with new information, and the best way to handle this is to absorb as much as possible while taking detailed notes. Whether it's learning about company policies, software tools, or internal workflows, don't assume you'll remember everything. Write it down. Carry a notebook or use a digital tool to keep track of key points. This will not only help you retain important information, but will also prevent you from repeatedly asking the same questions. If something isn't clear, don't hesitate to ask for clarification. It's much better to ask early than to struggle later because you didn't fully understand something critical. Reviewing company documents, onboarding materials, and previous project reports can also help you get up to speed faster. Taking the time to fully understand how things work will make it easier to contribute meaningfully sooner rather than later. Next, every workplace has its own unique culture. And one of the best things you can do in your first few days is to observe and adapt. Pay close attention to how people interact with one another. Is communication formal or informal? Are meetings structured, or do they tend to be more open-ended? How do teams collaborate? Are people expected to be independent, or is there a more collective approach to decision making? Understanding these nuances will help you fit in more naturally. Observe how people handle conflict, how they give feedback, and what behaviours are encouraged. Adapting quickly to the company culture shows emotional intelligence and makes it easier to build strong working relationships. By understanding the unspoken norms of the organisation, you'll avoid making missteps and establish yourself as someone who understands the team dynamic. Next, being proactive is one of the most effective ways to make a positive impression in your first few days. Instead of waiting to be told what to do, take the initiative to find ways to contribute. If you finish a task earlier than expected, ask what else you can take on. Employers appreciate employees who show initiative and take ownership of their work. If you notice that a colleague is particularly busy, offering to help with a small task can go a long way in building goodwill. If you identify an area where you can add value, mention it to your manager. But be careful not to make suggestions about major changes before fully understanding how things work. The goal isn't to overstep, but to show that you're engaged and eager to contribute. Being proactive also means staying engaged in meetings, asking insightful questions, and demonstrating a willingness to learn. And finally, one of the smartest things you can do in your first few days is to ask for feedback. Many new employees wait until their first performance review to find out how they're doing, but it's much better to check in early. Asking for feedback within your first week not only helps you course correct if necessary, but also demonstrates that you're committed to improving. A simple check-in with your manager can be as easy as saying, am I on the right track with how I'm approaching my work? Or is there anything I should focus on improving early on? By asking for input early, you show that you're adaptable and eager to learn. This also helps build a stronger relationship with your manager, as they'll see that you value their guidance and are serious about excelling in your role. The first few days at a new job are about more than just learning the basics. They're about laying the groundwork for long-term success. Making a strong first impression, building relationships, clarifying expectations, absorbing information, understanding company culture, being proactive, and seeking feedback are all essential steps to making a smooth and successful transition. By approaching your new role with confidence, curiosity, and a willingness to learn, you'll set yourself up for success from day one. Starting a new job can be overwhelming, but it's also a great opportunity to show what you're capable of. What's one thing you wish you had done differently in your first week at a new job? Let me know in the comments. And hey, if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon for more videos just like this one. If you're keen to learn more about any of these skills, be sure to check out theindustryportal.com, link in the description. Thanks so much for stopping by, and as always, keep growing, keep learning, and I'll see you in the next video.